I love hot hatchbacks. There's just something about the whole sort of boy racer, Asbo nature of them that's just so cheeky and sort of, I suppose, strikes a chord with the sort of cars I like. I mean, yes, you can go out and buy a Ferrari 458 Italia for 170 odd thousand pounds and enjoy the 4.5 litre V8 at, you know, your own leisure. However, we live in Great Britain, and whilst there's speed bumps and speed cameras and the police come down on you like a ton of bricks, it's very difficult to enjoy such a car here. However, the hot hatchback, sort of the power to the people performance car, offers all of the practicality of the relatively sane car that it's based on, but poke it with a stick and you find it's got a good amount of power and the ability to put just as big a smile on your face as that Ferrari would on roads without getting into too much trouble. So at the moment there's a bit of an array of them out, and they are all very good. You've got the Ford Fiesta ST, which is a fantastic car. You've got the Mini Cooper S, which is also very good, and also the Peugeot 208 GTI, which is what we're in today. Now, the 208 GTI, 1.6 litre turbocharged engine, packing just under 200 brake horsepower, 197 if you want to be exact, and well, it's pretty damn good. It goes something like this. It's a pretty pokey little car. 0 to 62 mile an hour in just 6.6 seconds, and it will go on to a top speed of 143 miles per hour. The car itself is a chic shadow of the car it is based upon, the 208 not being a bad looking car in the first place, but pumped up with steroids. So we've got some sportier bumpers, some slicker alloy wheels, and a general angry attitude about it, as we can see with the red detailing in the cabin. So let's start with inside, as I've mentioned the cabin now. The interior is fantastic. I mean, whilst the Fiesta ST is an absolutely fantastic car, the thing that lets it down is the interior. It's a bit boring, it's a bit too much like the standard Fiesta. This car, with its sculpted cascading centre console and large touchscreen navigation, shares similarities with the standard 208, but the red detailing and the red lights on the instrument panel all make life a little bit different and lets you know that you're in something a bit special. I love this tiny little steering wheel. Aided with the setup of the car, it makes the car feel very, very nimble when you're driving around urban environments, and obviously when you get a bit enthusiastic on country roads. Inside, it's very comfortable. These bolstered seats are fantastic, and the quality of the interior is a real accolade to this car, because Peugeots of old have felt a bit cheap, and over the past few years they've really taken a big step up as a whole, and that very much is embodied in the interior here with the red stitching and the amount of toys you get as well. This glass panoramic roof is an optional extra, but it allows plenty of light into this cabin. In the back, it's adequate for adults to sit in the back, though if you find yourself in the middle seat of the bench, then, well, you might find yourself having to straddle a little bit to be comfortable. However, this car is not about interior comfort, it is about those go faster smiles, and as you glance down at the speedo and frighten yourself sometimes, because the surge of acceleration with the turbo, particularly from about 3,000 RPM, is absolutely fantastic. And obviously I've spoken about the performance figures of the car, but the way this car moves as well, there are bags and bags of grip. For a front wheel drive car with this level of power, the amount of grip on offer is absolutely fantastic. It means that you're probably doing things a little bit too insane before you run out of talent, or the car runs out of talent more like. The high levels of grip are a fantastic safety net and only serve actually to encourage you to drive with a bit more vigour. The brakes are a particular point as well I want to bring up. They are fantastic, good brake feel, and very, very capable of stopping the car from some of the silly speeds you may end up finding yourself travelling at. Gearbox, 6-speed manual. Again, that's what we like to see in a hot hatchback. It's all about the car and driver involvement, so that box is very much firmly ticked in the Peugeot. What doesn't the Peugeot do very well? Well, though it looks smart, it doesn't look quite as boy racery or hey look at me as what some of its competitors are. I drive round and people don't tend, like, they look at it but they don't tend to give it a second glance when it really deserves it with the amount of performance on tap here. My only other gripes, I suppose, are that there could be a bit more exhaust noise. It makes an okay noise, but it feels like it's muffled slightly at times. And the steering could do with a bit more feel to it, just so we really know what's going on underneath those front wheels whenever we're blasting through those country roads. But on the whole, Peugeot have done an absolutely fantastic job with this car. And in terms of bangs for your bucks, this one, with all of its toys, its touchscreen navigation, glass roof, etc., etc., comes to £18,900. If you wanted the base car, you could have it for about 18 grand. So there we are, that's the Peugeot 208 GTI. Fantastic value for money, arguably one of the most well-rounded of the hot hatch bunch that we have at the moment, with its capability of just settling down and pottering around town and going shopping when you need to, but then also the bonkers ability to drop a gear and absolutely have the next 4 cars that are holding you up. So, well done Peugeot, and yeah, no, I thoroughly recommend that you give the Peugeot 208 GTI a try, and if it's not on your shortlist, it should be.